One of the things I've really been enjoying recently is discovering how some of the playline dolls, like the Rainbow High that I've got here, but several others, have started to really recognize that the collector market is not only out there, but is a really important part of doll sales. So even though the traditional market might seem to be kids, you know, there are these dolls who are actually coming out directed for collectors. But are these dolls really for collectors? And what's the difference between a playline doll and a collector doll? Well, let's open these two up and find out. The two dolls that I have to compare are the 2022 collector doll for the Year of the Tiger, Lily Cheng, and also Victoria Whitman, who is a Series 5 core doll. The first thing that's really obvious in making a comparison is the box they come in. This one, very stylish, very sleek, also quite hard and durable feeling, which makes it obviously a nice collector box. It's also got this little latch thing at the front that looks, well, obviously it's meant to look like printed gold. It clearly isn't, it's plastic, but it does look quite stylish and cool. The box for the core line dolls I actually do like. I think for a playline doll, it's pretty catchy and nice. It's also good that you could display your doll in this. So if you are a collector buying one, you could put your doll on the shelf and see her. She's really nicely, visible in there. But it's definitely not so durable. This one I bought straight from the shelf, and you can see that it's got a couple of tears in the card and the plastic bit has popped in. And so if you were looking to collect this doll, you might not like that, and you might not want to keep the box. It's smaller, which is both a good and a bad thing. If you're putting it into storage, one thing that I find with boxes is that you end up with so many that you don't want to keep them. Well, this one's going to take up a lot more space. With Lily's box open, it really is quite a cool display. This one is even better to highlight Lily herself in there, and if you're a collector putting this on a shelf, I think that is a fabulous display to have. It will take up a lot of room, and especially this one here, this front flap, I kind of wish that it had a fold in the middle so you could fold it back behind her box, because that side of it is just not terribly exciting, and I would like to be able to save the space. This side, on the other hand, has a cute little picture of Lily out, which I think is really nice. It was quite easy to open Victoria's box. I just snipped the tape along the side and slid her out, and I like that. It's really frustrating when you have toy boxes, especially where you may want to keep them, and you essentially have to rip the guts out of them to get them open. So that was nice, and she is quite, straight here, ready to come out. I will just need to snip these bits of plastic and she will pop straight out. Victoria and all her items are now free from her box. Victoria herself was pretty easy to get out. The only thing that annoyed me was that she had those little plastic clips in the back of her head that you need to snip. I've seen that with Barbies as well, and I find that quite tricky to do, and it's very easy to accidentally cut some of the doll's hair. It also leaves a little stub in the head, so that was annoying. But otherwise, she was very easy to get out. She looks quite beautiful. I do love the freckles. That's why I chose this one, because it's quite unique. Unfortunately, the accessories were literally impossible to get out of the box without destroying it. So I can see that this is not a box that once you've unpackaged her, you really could keep. The rest of it is fine, but obviously it's no longer complete. And because that was all glued in, you just can't open it without tearing it to pieces. So I don't think I'll be keeping it, even though it is quite a nice box. In terms of what she came with, now the Series 5 dolls, unlike the earlier releases, don't come with an extra outfit. Lily does, because she's a previous year, so I'm not going to count that as part of the comparison, whether they have the extra outfit or not. I'm just going to be looking at the quality of what they do have. So the stand is here. I'm really glad they have a stand. A lot of play dolls don't, and I find that really frustrating, because obviously if you are a collector buying them, you do want to be able to stand them up, put them on the display. So she's got a stand. She's also got a comb. I don't think that's what I'll be using on her hair, because I think that would probably be pretty bad for her hair, and it'll be better to use a better quality doll hairbrush. So that's perhaps more for a child's play. She comes with this lot of accessories as well. They're all pretty much just hard plastic, although it is cute that we have some that open and close, and obviously you've got the mobile phone and the mobile phone case. Now, I guess this isn't looking at it from a collector standpoint. This is more like looking at it from a mum's standpoint. But if I were buying this for my child, the thing that frustrates me is just how girly, how, stereotypically feminine the stuff here is. Makeup. I don't use makeup. It's not something I will ever introduce to my daughter if I can help it. Sewing, I do sew, but at the same time, maybe we could have her with some science equipment or sports activities. It's all pink. I like pink. I like many other colors as well. Maybe we could, I guess pink is her color, but even so, it's just a bit too much, I find. Moving on to Lily and her items, it was pretty easy getting her out of the box. I loved that the accessories, they just pop out and they form this cool, like a shoebox and a clothing box. That could be displayed by itself if you were not changing Lily, and I don't know that I will change her because I love the outfit that she is in, but we will see. It was a bit sticky pulling the doll's actual box out, and I did end up putting a little tear there. It's not significant. Obviously, that would probably affect her resale value if I were going to resell her, but the box is still workable, so that is all right. I can see that she's got similar tie attachments fixing her in, so I'm going to snip those and get her out. Lily and her items are also free now, and we can see that similarly to Victoria, she has a really complex face makeup style and an outfit that really matches her theme. She also comes with a stand. It took me a little while to find it in her box, but it was in there. She comes with, they both came with a coat hanger, which is in their colour theme and says rainbow on it. She has this little fan which really opens and closes, and it has fabric saying rainbow on it as well, and some fabric string. If I ignore her extra outfit for now, because as I said, the Victoria doesn't come with a second outfit, but it's more because she is in the new line than because she's a basic doll. But so if I more or less just look at what Lily actually has on her, she's got quite a lot of accessories. So she's got these little bracelets. She's got the hair pieces. She's got obviously the fan I mentioned. Her shoes are pretty intricate. Now, obviously, she is still from, she's the collector doll, but she's still from a play line type, and for that these shoes are incredibly complex. They're not just plastic. They've got these additional rope ties, these little RH logo on the front. So I really think that she comes with a lot of items. Both dolls has some really cool earrings. One of Lily's fell out when she was coming out of the box, but it went back in pretty easily. It is just a cast plastic piece with a plug that sticks in her head, but nonetheless it's pretty cute. Goes with her theme and her colour. Both of them have inset eyes with eyelashes, and again at that price point I think that's a pretty cool feature. And if we have a look at the two dolls side by side to compare their faces, I would say Lily's is the most complex. So in terms of what we're getting for our money, both dolls have actually quite intricate face designs. If you look at the lips and, of course, all the freckles on this doll. And then Lily, they both, again, you get a lot for your money. They're both very, very complex and stylish. I do really like Victoria's earrings. I think they're probably nicer than Lily's, so I think the earrings are equal, just depending on the doll and on how much you like it. They are still just plastic pieces that don't move, but they look really nice. They have that flower design logo. Both dolls have quite intricate hair, which has multi-tones in it.
Victoria has blonde hair with slightly pink highlights, again going with her colour theme there. And she has if I flip her over, she has this plait hairstyle and some wavy hair. I may look at restyling her hair, or I may keep it how it is. I'm not sure. But either way, I do actually think it is very nice for a play doll. Lily here, she also has multi-tone hair. Her main colour is black. That's going, of course, with her Asian look. And then she has like tinsel and glitter and some orange. Now, I know some people really dislike the glitter in the hair. I'm not sure how I feel. It definitely adds a little pop, but whether it is, going to hold up in the long run, I'm not sure. There is a lot of product in Lily's hair, making it quite hard and stiff, whereas Victoria's feels pretty stiff down the bottom as well. And I know a lot of people condition these dolls' hair when they get them, and I think that might be something that I plan to do with these dolls as well. As far as the shoes go, they both have shoes that, do look quite nice. They're not just one block of colour, but they are just a plastic piece. But even Victoria's, you can see, has a different coloured sole. It's got a heel. It's got the straps across it. And Lily has much more complex shoes. She has plastic with the string I already mentioned before. So as far as the shoes go, I would say that Lily's shoes, although not quite to the level of like an Integrity toy shoe or something like that has the fabric and is, really representing a human shoe, it is a very nice piece for a doll. And I would say that it is collector worthy. If we look at the accessories that each doll came with, I already said one thing I like about these is that they're not just one piece. They don't just come with, plastic pieces. Some of them are, but most of them aren't. They move and they, have features that are good for play, but also good for display. In terms of quality, definitely Lily's are higher quality. I do really like the fabric in this. I do really like her bracelets as well, although they are just plastic. They're quite small and dainty, and I get the feeling, they feel nice. They feel good quality, and she has the little strings on her hairpiece and things like that. So I do think that Lily has that higher quality feel to all of her accessories. Without their clothes, it's no surprise that the dolls look and feel pretty much identical. I don't see any reason to think that the collector line dolls use any different plastic or any different features at all from the mainline dolls. Obviously, Victoria has the freckles all over her, which is sort of her feature, and I guess that's partly why she doesn't have as many clothing or as many accessories, because, she's already got that feature and a lot of time and effort into the freckles. She's just got this single pink panty painted on, while Lily has the red and gold one to match her colour theme. Both actually look very nice, and their joints work very well. I have heard that sometimes the hands can be quite loose. Victoria's are a little bit looser than Lily's, probably just chance, but there is also the possibility that there's better quality control on the collector dolls. I would have to compare more to be sure about that. When it comes to the clothing pieces, so again, Lily has more. Her outfit came into 3 pieces. It's got the top, the skirt, and this corset, which has, quite a lot of features, the multi-tone, the ribbon, and so on. While Victoria has this 2-piece, it's almost like a bathing suit. Both dolls have Velcro closures on them, which I think makes sense for kids. And to be honest, I'm quite fine with Velcro. It's pretty easy on and off. And so long as it's done neatly, it looks good. I like that Lily's skirt has some interior attached panties because that's going to mean that it stays in exactly the same spot, and actually Victoria's has that as well. So it means that when you dress her, that skirt is not going to come down, it's going to stay in place, which probably makes sense with a child's toy, because you don't risk them being kind of rude and, showing the naked doll underneath. But it's also good for when you're dressing and displaying your doll. The fabric on the brocade is really nice. And look, I hope that all of the collector dolls have sourced this kind of really quality fabric. I know how much I hate sewing with brocade, so I think it's really cool that they're using that in the outfit. I also really appreciate this closure at the neck, which just adds that level of complexity and realism to the outfit. It's obviously simulating like a metal closure. It's plastic, but it looks cool, and it is a really neat extra feature. We can also see the multiple different types of fabric that have gone into creating this one piece with the faux leather trim going over the top. The corset belt, likewise, really great feel. It's got different types of faux leather. I would guess that, in 20 years, this may start to disintegrate like some of the 20-year-old fashion dolls I have. But right now, it looks really quality piece. It's got a lot of work into it, a lot of different features that make it striking. Victoria's outfit, on the other hand, is very simple. It's got these nice layers. They're not hemmed, which is fine. It's the fabric that they've chosen doesn't need to be hemmed, so I don't see that as a downside as such. But it does add to its simplicity. It's really just these frill layers. Same for the top. It's got this interior piece, which is quite nice. So it's got a bit of complexity to it, but from the outside, it just looks like a bit of frill that has these added embroideries. It's quite nice. That's all I would say. I probably plan to redress Victoria because this, it's nicely made for what it is, but I don't love it, and I feel like it is quite simple in its design. Lily's, on the other hand, I think is really beautiful. And I think that she's going to stay in this outfit. And as I was undressing her, I also thought, wow, that looks great without the corset. So I think it's also got that multiple ways of dressing. Now, she does, of course, have her second outfit. And the good thing to see is that we've retained that level of intricacy, and I think that there's a lot of mix and match ability here. If we look at the jacket, it's got those same faux metal closures that we saw on the top of the shirt. I think you could very easily wear the skirt from the first outfit with the jacket, although it is similar to this. I love how this one has that side opening with the gold feature, just adding that extra little touch to it that adds complexity. The second pair of shoes, probably not quite as nice as her first pair, but the thing that is nice to see is that, again, it's a combination of the plastic piece, which is really nicely decorated, I have to say. Beautiful oriental design on it, and with that, the ribbons adding, the fabric feature to these shoes. So they're not just a piece of plastic.
So is the Rainbow High collector doll really for collectors? Well, overall, I actually would say yes. I do think that both dolls, in fact, have a great amount of collector value. And in fact, there are not that many differences. The build quality, the hair is pretty similar on both dolls. Now, it may just be Victoria herself, but her hair is starting to frizz up a little bit already, whereas Lily's is holding true. That might just be because Lily has straight hair and Victoria doesn't, but it might also be a difference, perhaps in the quality control. Likewise, Victoria's hands are a tiny bit loose, whereas Lily's, they are nice and stiff and posable. And again, that could be that there is a little bit better quality control in the collector dolls. But nonetheless, I think Victoria is a great doll as well. And really, these dolls are quite cheap. I paid just over $40 for her, and I think that I got really good value out of that. Her clothing is nice, her accessories are nice. There's just kind of nothing other than, her, her actual body, her freckles, that really stands out. Whereas when we come to Lily, I do find that most of the things about her I really love, and that includes all her extras. So her clothing just has that real quality feel, lots of details, lots of cool features. One thing I didn't note before was that I found that her bracelets, as I was looking at her, each tiny little bracelet is made with a tiger theme. So there's like a white tiger, there's a tiger bangle, and so on. And I just thought that was a beautiful little extra feature that goes with her theme. So everything works together, and everything more or less feels high quality. Obviously, we do have that, plasticky feel to some of the pieces, like her earrings that come with her being, from a playline company rather than, from Integrity Toys or something. But that said, she's like less than half the price of an Integrity Toys doll. So I think that for a collector, she is really, really very good value. She's got beautiful hair, she's got beautiful accessories, and there is a quality feel to them. She also doesn't have the cheesiness that I found in Victoria's accessories. They were fun, but they were very stereotypical, and I don't like that as just as a parent, as a person. That, I mean, I'm sure that's Victoria's character and everything, but I would still stay away from it if I were making a toy. In terms of the boxes, that's the other point where they really differentiate. So Victoria's box got a bit torn, and I really couldn't open it without destroying it. So that one is going to have to go literally in the bin. Whereas Lily's box here held up beautifully to opening. There are only a couple of tiny flaws to it. It's a great piece. It's also something that a collector can hold on to. And so if I were decide to sell Lily later, I could hopefully get most of my money back. Maybe in a while she might go up in value, she might not. We don't want to count on that. But if I put her back in her box, I can probably get most of my money back. And that's a nice thing to know when you're buying, although it's not a deal breaker. It is good. So overall, yes, I would buy and I would pay the difference for a collector doll from Rainbow High. But that said, the Playline dolls also really good value and a beautiful collectible for anyone who wants one.